Okay. Let's turn this up so I can make sure and hear everyone. I know this week is crazy, and so I'm grateful that you guys could jump on. I wanted to get it done. Hi, Amber. I wanted to get it done before the holiday, and kind of just had some things that I wanted to talk to everybody about and kind of connect with everyone on as we head into 2022. I firmly believe that 2022, and I keep saying this, but I truly feel it, will be our strongest year yet. And I specifically the first and second quarter of 2022. And so that's why I wanted to jump on here and make sure that everybody kind of has a plan, has something that they are shooting for so that you can hit the ground running whenever you're ready to, whether that's after Christmas or at the beginning of the new year. That's awesome, whatever it looks like. So super excited for that. So I did send out this, and if you haven't filled it out or printed it, that's okay. I would challenge you to do that though this week for sure, because I honestly feel like a number is a number that grows. And I heard Shalini say that one time, and I was like, that's so true. If we're just like, I want to book more parties, I want to recruit a few more people this year, I want to rank advance, we have to dive into our goals 100% and break them down and then put them somewhere where we can actually see them. Otherwise, I learned from Deb Erickson long ago that we have like 7 million thoughts in I swear it was like a year. So of course, if you have a goal, it's not going to stay at the top of your mind, especially after the excitement goes and the work begins. So I just challenge you guys to write them down, like fill this out, send it to me, send me a picture. I'm going to put them all my notes in a book so that I can be aware of what your goals are and we can kind of move through this together. I have big plans for 2022. I feel like 2021, I was just surviving. I truly feel like that. I know I'm not alone. 2020, 2021, this has all been crazy. But I do know going into 2022 that I am ready to run, and I want to run with as many people as want to with me. And also obviously whatever your goals are, I just want to be aware of them. So first and foremost, as we kind of jump into this, I truly believe that you cannot set new goals until you celebrate what you've already created. And I think that this is super powerful because we are capable of achieving whatever it is that we want. But if we're coming into it with all the things we didn't achieve this year, like why would I add that to my goals again? Why would I continue putting this on? I keep not achieving it. Well, you're not going to achieve it again, right? I do feel like we need to come into this with a list of at least 5 things that you feel like, and hopefully there's more than 5. I know it took me a minute to be like, what did I freaking do this year? I don't even know. To kind of go, what did I achieve and what am I going to celebrate? And we can celebrate and then go, okay, and now I'm moving towards this. So even if you didn't hit your goal, there is improvement at some point in your business or in your life that I challenge you guys to celebrate, because there's so much good to be celebrating right now. So, okay. So first and foremost on this thing, we also, until we've celebrated where we've been, we also need to know once again, why you're here. That is probably my least favorite thing that gets brought up in this business is your why. And I think it's because I have a hard time diving that deep. But it is very, very important, because we always say, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing and what you want to create, which is your goal and your vision, and you don't know what's possible, then this is just monotonous work, because this business is all about repeating simple steps. But if you don't know why you are doing what you're doing, and you may have signed up 4 years ago and you need to revisit that. You may have signed up 6 months ago and you need to revisit that, because that will take you farther than anything, is why you're here and what you want to create. So the first question is, what do you want to create with your Xayah business, and why is that important to you? I was on a call yesterday. I just signed up with a new business coach, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be one-on-one. She actually worked with John Maxwell in his leadership development for 14 years. And she's all about systems, and we are opposite personalities. So I think it'll be really good for me. And I'm so freaking excited for what she is going to do. But I love that she asked me yesterday She said, if you could wave a magic wand, what would your business look like at the end of 2022? And I think there's so many times that I'm setting goals and I'm like, well, realistically, I would like to whatever. And she was like, no, wave a magic wand and tell me what you think what it would look like. And so there were so many things that I was like, oh, I had it dead set in my mind. If I could wave a magic wand, this is what it would look like, instead of looking realistically. Because when we're setting realistic goals, that's your ceiling. And a lot of times we fall short of our goals, which means you didn't even hit your ceiling, right? So waving that magic wand and writing down, what do you want it to look like? What rank will you be? What will your team look like? How much money will you make a month? What will the ranks of your team members be? How many team members did you recruit? That's the other question that I want you to get real clear about. That helps you with your vision. And then we're going to skip the Dominican Republic thing really quick. And then she wanted me to say, and then she was like, and what will that mean to you and your family when you hit these goals? Part of me, that was hard because I was like, my family doesn't care if I hit these goals. But then I thought, what does that look like? Who have I become when I've hit these goals in a more structured manner rather than all out panic and running? Who do I become as a mom, right? Do I have more confidence in myself? Do I have more time with my kids because I know where I'm going, and so the distractions are less. I think it's so important for us to have these goals because there's going to be lots of really shiny things. There's going to be fun, shiny little promos, but if they aren't taking you on your way to your goal, then they are not worth your time, and you need to stay with your vision. So I challenge you to also, that's another reason why I want you to look at your vision, your why, and then I challenge you to cut out everything that doesn't belong there. And it might be a promo. And that's okay. There's lots of promos. There's a million different promos corporate throws out. It might be a promo I throw out. If you don't join a promo because it doesn't align with your vision and what you want to create, I'm happy. If you don't join a promo because you don't think you can do it, then I'm super sad because I want you to give it a try too. Okay. Anyway, so filling out if you waved a magic wand, what would that look like? What rank will you be and how much money will you make a month? This money thing, I already know you're going to downplay by a lot because this business will pay you a lot of money, a ton of money. And so there's so many that will write, a certain number there. And sometimes I see that number and I'm like, okay, so 3 times that number. And that's the truth. That is truly what's possible. And that's why also, if you want to get on a call with me, I want to kind of look over these things. I know corporate is also going to be throwing out a ton of new announcements. I don't really know what those are, but I've heard from Sam Higginson that they are super great and we are going to love them. So I'm excited about that, but going to that. Okay. Also, I want you to answer, and you can even raise your hand. And at the end, we're going to do questions and thoughts and all that stuff. But is your goal to be on the company promo trip to the Dominican Republic? Does everybody have a goal like that? Do you want to be on the trip, I guess? And are you going to be on the trip? Randy Lee, I want you to put your freaking hand up because, just kidding. If it's a promo that doesn't align with your vision, that's fine. But you guys, everybody can earn this trip. And so I challenge you in this box right here, how many parties do you already have? How many parties are you working for? And are you just posting? What is the work you're doing to get those parties? Are you messaging people personally, or are you just posting your dates? Okay. Also getting creative on what those parties look like. Is it an email party? Is it an Instagram party? I have the most success with Facebook, but there's other people that still have success in other ways. So what does that look like? Is it going to be a multi-host party? Is it a multi-rep? Are you going to host a party, a big bash for your team to be able to help them book parties for the rest of the 3 months? Okay. Make a plan there. And is it possible for you to earn points from ranking? Break that all down. If you need to rank, what does that look like? How many people do you need to bring on? You have to get so clear. These parties are not just going to show up. I have something on my thing over here that says 15 parties. My goal is to book, 15 parties in January and February, and then leaving March for my kind of like what else needs to be done and booking parties from those previous parties. What does that look like? How are you getting them, and making sure that you're very clear and not just like, I hope so. I hope I get a party. you're straight up asking. I went through my Facebook friends list, and there's so many people that are reps, but I went through the ones that aren't reps and I asked them, and I probably booked 5 parties from people that are like, oh, sure, like, why not? And I'm like, are you serious? I haven't even asked anybody in my Facebook friends so that are already from a party. Okay, so then going to what will that mean to you and your family if you hit these goals, and then going to what will that take for you to hit these goals, and how will you need to show up in your business. If your goal is to rank advance, then you will, and you haven't hit that rank yet this year, we're going to need to probably set more specific focuses, and it might be on less things. Oh, hi, Liv. They've been in the hot tub today because it's freaking cold. But sometimes it's not about doing more, but it's about focusing on less things. Okay, so as you are going through and deciding what it's going to take for you, thank you. You're getting me all wet over there. Focus on writing down what it is that you can do. If posting to social media is taking up a lot of your time, then maybe spending, lowering the amount of times you post on social media and making more time for messaging. We do know that this is the business of network marketing. It is the business of being social. You're a social seller. And so sometimes posting just takes up too much of my brain space and I think too much about it. So I need to be spending time messaging. So what does that look like too? And then what obstacles do you see in hitting your goals? Is there a lack of knowledge? Is there a knowledge gap that you feel like I would do reaching out? I don't know what to say, right? Is there distractions that are coming up? Do you have family coming into town? Are you going out of town for 3 weeks of January? What are those distractions that are going to keep you from your goals? Even if you just set Q1 goals, I think that could be super powerful too, and not the full year. But a lot of times when you wave your magic wand and you look at the full year, then you can break that down into your quarterly goals and your halfway through the year goals and start marking those off as well. And then another huge point of hitting goals is accountability. Whether that's your upline, obviously me, or if we're going to I'm working to see about doing more masterminds, because we'll talk about a few other things here in a second, but doing more masterminds, because masterminds are very focused, and we'll kind of look at and see who's interested in doing masterminds as we work for these first 3 months towards this trip, and then also setting us up for the first 2 quarters. I do think it's going to be the most powerful first and second quarter we've ever had. Oh shoot, there was one other thing I wanted to say. Before we jump into leadership really quick and kind of focusing on your team, the one thing that I was listening to Bob Heilig the other night, and one thing that he says is your current place and circumstances are a direct reflection of the choices, thoughts, and beliefs that you have. And that means that your current circumstances have nothing to do with where you're capable of going, because your choices, your thoughts, and your beliefs can be influenced at any time. You can adjust them, and you can make it so that you believe differently and think differently and can hit 10 times more than you've already hit. So if you are a junior rep right now and your goal is senior director 100%, that is doable. It all comes down to your thoughts, beliefs, choices, and we can kind of direct that as well. So I love that. Your current place and circumstances are a direct reflection of your choices, thoughts, and beliefs, and that can change at any moment. So dreaming big as we are moving forward, especially as we're going to open up into Australia. Whether you have contacts there or not, Australia is going to be enormous. And I don't know, because I've heard 5 different dates and we've passed all of them, but the beginning of the year should be the launch, hopefully. So we will be able to kick off this new year with a launch into a whole another country. And if you're not messaging people there, those are parties too that you could be booking for your trip to Dominican Republic. I would definitely be connecting with people there as well. So let's move right into leadership. And leadership, if you have a team, if your team is quiet, if your team is dormant, if whatever it is, if your team is rocking, I challenge you to get to know their goals and their why. So this is why I'm doing this, because I want to know your guys's as well. I want to be on the same page as you. I want to be encouraging. Thank you, honey. I want to be encouraging you and where you're headed. Do you know your team members' goals and why for Xayah? Check in on that. That will be, we aren't here to pull anybody. It's impossible. It's painful. We want them to have their own goals and their own why. So, and we can guide, direct, and like show them the way. But then you're not pulling. Then the other one is what method of communication. So there's a few things that I wanted to do. If you are a leader of a team, I'm challenging you to step up even more this year, to as making sure that the communication with your team is clear, that they feel, which you guys do a good job, very connected to you, so that they know that they have, you know, the huge support system, and just kind of reiterating that. So what method of communication do you have set up for your team? Is it a messenger chat? Is it a text thread? I know Caitlin does a text thread. Emails, what are you sending out weekly? Are you resending my emails? Are you creating your own emails? What does that look like? I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel on everything, but I do think there are some ways that you will know how you can step up more to be the center and the leader of your team. What support do you currently offer them? So look at what you currently offer your team. Is it parties and bashes? Is it team challenges? Is it checking in on them and having one-on-one calls? Are you offering recognition, team challenges, monthly check-ins with where they're at on their goals, and also what it is that they have booked for the month, what it is, what support do you currently offer them? And do you feel like there's an area of leadership that you can improve? I feel like none of us ever feel like a good leader. That's a normal thing. If you have a team, you feel like you are a fraud. I don't know anybody want to raise their hand and agree with me. I feel like you're like, I'm still figuring it out. How am I supposed to help them? You guys, that's the point. When we help them, we learn more. And I feel like a lot of times we're nervous to coach and help them because maybe we feel like we may not have the answers, but this business is simple. And I always say, but what if you did know? So when you're going in to help your team, go in with confidence that what if you did know? And when you can take their questions a step at a time. So what support do you currently offer? And is there any area of leadership you could improve, do you feel? And then also identifying your top 3 to 5 leaders. And what support do you feel you can offer them? Do you know their goals? So there's different people come into this business for different reasons. Some come in because they want to take it to the next level. They want to be making $10,000, $50,000 a month eventually. Some come in because they want to make $500 a month, and some are just want to come in and it's more like a side hobby, and that's fantastic. But the ones that are going to run with it are going to require the most of your time. So it's super important for your time to figure out who those people are, so that, and they will get the most of your support. Obviously, if you have somebody for a hobby, they're going to have less questions, they're going to have less things for you. And so you're spending 80% of your time probably with about 20% of your reps, which is why masterminds are huge. Masterminds, I feel like, help you spend 80% of your time with 20% of your reps that are going to, you know, take it and run with it. So if you are not doing masterminds, I challenge you, even if it was a small group, I challenge you to do them with your team, to kind of jump in there and be like, we're going to meet every Tuesday. Let's do this. And creating that community and culture with your team, I think would be super huge as well. So those are the couple things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I also would love to hear, if you guys want to unmute, goals. If you are going to be on the trip, if you have questions, kind of heading in that direction. With this new coach that I have, I know that she's super big on, I mean, we're going to be creating a system in ranking to junior rep, a system that you'll follow in ranking to senior rep, director, those kind of things. It's going to take a little bit as we kind of rework through those. But at the end of the day, we have everything that we already need. I always have to say to myself, what if we already have everything we need to hit our goals? Because I'm always like, I want to do this, but first I need to implement this, or first I need to do this and get more knowledge here, or whatever. And the reality is we have everything that we need to hit our goals, and you guys have everything that you need to help your team. And so just making sure to be familiar, creating the culture where you are at the head of that team, and giving them that support. Obviously 80% is going to be working on your own business and 20% to your team. That's the way it should be because we have so many resources that should support them, but just making sure you're at the front. Does anybody want to share anything, your goals, questions that you have, any of that?
I'll share a thought.
Awesome.
Like
Yeah.
church. So we own, aside from Xayah, my husband and I run our own businesses. So like we're self-employed to the max. And something I keep thinking is like the last half of this year, I've made goals and I haven't gone after them. And I just keep thinking it's fine. Like it's not a big deal. And I keep thinking for next year, and I'm not necessarily the breadwinner of our family. My husband is, but my Xayah business very much could like replace his income. But if he was to have that mindset of it's fine, like we don't have to go after that goal, or like I set a goal, but like it's fine if I don't hit it, it would kind of like make our businesses suffer. And I think sometimes we treat, because Xayah can be such a passive business, we treat it that way. And so something that I'm going to be doing in 2022 is when I set a goal, not stopping until that goal has been hit. And sometimes my husband works extra hours so that he can hit the goals that he has set for other businesses. But for me, I want to be on the Dominican Republic trip. And I know that it's super doable and it will take work, but I know that if I'm not in July, I'm going to be really bummed. And so I have set goals, I've written them down, and I won't stop until those goals have been met, just like any sort of deadline with any business. And I think that's what's hard about this business is that we do have a quote unquote upline or boss, but this business, she doesn't sit there and like babysit us and tell us what to do. And we don't have to babysit ourselves and like make sure we hit them because there's nobody above us telling us what to do, which is the beauty of this business. But I also think it can become super passive in that, I need to message these people, but it's fine if I don't, because I'll just miss out on the vacation and that's fine. But I think if we let ourselves settle in every aspect of this business, then like that's at the end of the day, that's what we get as an unthriving business. So anyway, that's my goal, is to treat this more like a business and set these goals and set these like due dates for myself and not stop until they are done, or until they're completed. So that's my thought and my goal for this next year.
I love that. I think you're exactly right. When I was talking to the girl yesterday, her name's Rachel, she was like, so what happens if you don't hit your goals or whatever? And I just said, if I'm still in my same place in 2 years, whether we talked about mentally or whatever I'm feeling, I was like, I will be devastated. And she was like, so how committed are you? Because you're exactly right. I told her, I said, I don't have an upline and nobody checks my numbers. It is so easy for me to hide. It is so easy for me to hide. And it's easy for me to be like, tomorrow. I'm not the upline that's going to harp on you guys for not hitting your goals, not hosting those parties, because at the end of the day, it's your business. I am going to be leading by example and doing all that, but you're exactly right, Caitlin. It is so easy to hide in this business and to put off. And for me, I feel like not value what we originally set out to do, because when it gets harder, like these parties are, we're going to pull back a little bit because nobody actually really knows, right? I mean, I know, but I'm not going to be like, all right, you didn't do it, right? That's not my personality. I will never be that. But it is about taking charge and stopping the hiding, if you are like me. So anyway, treating it like a business. I love that so much. I know in going to look at those parties, and I thought booking 15 freaking parties, I had one party booked in January and I didn't book any in December. And I had like 2 or 3 in November. And I was like, everybody is telling me no. How in the world am I going to hit 15 parties? But I just thought, I can't go into it thinking, how in the world am I going to do? I was like, I'm hitting 15 parties. And it helped me come up with ways to reach out to people in different ways and be like, you know what? That changed everything for me. I'm booking 15 parties. And then I got ideas on how to do it instead of how in the world am I going to book 15 parties, kind of changing that mindset too. Love it. Thank you, Caitlin. Does anybody else want to share anything? Okay. I'm, like I said, I hope that I've said everything that I wanted to say. I kind of jumped around on my notes, but I am so excited for 2022. And my goal, one of my goals was to have quadruple the amount of people on that leadership trip than I've ever taken from my first line ever. Um, that's helping at least 5 people hit Xayah executive. And I think that that will be totally doable for this year, no matter where you're at. Oh, you're so fine, Mike. Anyway, so that is one of my goals, and I am super excited. So, because more people need to be on these trips and connecting with corporate and achieving what it is that you set out to be, right? So, if you hit your goals last year or you did not hit them, I challenge you to relook at them, relook at your why and your vision. Look at your team's why and your vision, because we don't go anywhere in this business without our team. And I actually think that's super powerful. It obviously can also be frustrating. But if you look at it as a powerful moment and what it is you're helping them create instead of create for you, I think that it takes on a whole new meaning. So I do challenge you guys to fill this out, put it where you can see it. And if you're going on the Dominican Republic trip, we're not being like, if you're going to try, if you're going on the trip, I want to know. And we're going to hold each other accountable, because, printing out I think I put it in the newsletter, but printing out the tracker as well as, like whatever else, that sun is killing me, whatever else you guys need to keep reminding you. So I think that that's it, but I'm super excited where we're headed. Just know, and I always like to take responsibility for people's businesses, but just like you guys are, and we'll take responsibility for our own businesses, but when you have a downline and you can kind of be like, but they're not doing well, or maybe this one's struggling or whatever, and you don't know how to help them, just realize that you're going to empower them more by going and hitting your goals and showing them rather than pulling them. I think we need to be clear in connection with them. We need to let them know that we are there. But just like we can't take responsibility for the success of our reps, I mean, we can. If you're going to take responsibility of when people aren't doing well and feel bad about that, then you also need to take responsibility for the success of your reps and feel amazing about that, right? We always just take the negative. So I just challenge you guys to encourage your reps to know that this is their business. Their goals are theirs, and you are there to help them and run with them and inspire them. But as far as polling, it's so impossible. So just taking responsibility of our own businesses. And the last thing, there's been some changes in calls for the new year. Team Papaya, the second Tuesday of every single month, is getting moved quarterly. So I'll be doing more mastermind type stuff to connect with everybody on my first level, but quarterly. So we'll have a Team Papaya call in January. So the second Tuesday in January, and then the second Tuesday in April, July, and October. So that's going to be different. And that is because there's so much information and knowledge out there that you guys can already plug into, and then we'll be doing masterminds. And if you want to, I challenge you, if you have a team, connect with them and maybe do a once a month call to connect and build the culture there. So that's kind of why we took away a little bit of Papaya. I started feeling like it was space that I was just trying to fill all the time, where our energy could be put somewhere else with stronger connection and also like more one-on-one stuff. So if you are missing that call, then I challenge you to add a call for your first levels and connect with them. And then the last thing is we'll still have our Discover Xayah every third Tuesday, and then the new rep training every fourth Tuesday. And then my personally sponsored reps, like the first level call, will be on the first Tuesday of the month for now. If we just jump right into and only do masterminds, then we'll drop that first level call, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's all good stuff. I think I don't have anything else to say, but if anybody on the way out and was talking with her, Megan. Good job, Megan. Okay, last is our team theme and our team motto, and everything is going to be about team building in 2022. So if you want to have a business that is residual. It's going to be all about team building. And I think as we focus on that, it will become more of a cultural thing, and our teams can also find their legs and be able to be even stronger. So team building is going to be our theme for 2022, and we'll launch that as the new year gets closer. But okay, that's it. I am going to not take a picture. Liv, hang on. Bring me my phone. Sorry, she's obsessed with Geometry Dash now that her siblings got her on it, and now she takes my phone away. Hey. Okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You guys, so good to see your faces. Have the best Christmas. And if you want to do one-on-ones, just send me a message. We'll book those next week. I am taking basically the rest of the week off, and I think that's it. Okay, see you later.